have to figure out what each angle measure is. If x is 20, 3 times 20, that's 60. 2 times 20 is 40, plus 15. And then 20 plus 45. So these are my 3 angle measures inside of a triangle. So this is 60, 55, 65. They want to know what is the largest exterior angle. So if I drew these lines, they're all supplementary with the interior angle, correct? Right off the bat, which one's going to be the largest? Next to what angle?
65. No.
They're all supplementary. So which exterior angle is going to be the largest? The one next to 55.
Really?
Because 180 minus 55 is going to give you a bigger answer than 180 minus 65. So 180 minus 55 is?
Mr. Tom, I gotta go see. I have to take the triangle.
But wait.
There's more.
I'm gonna have to, like, you need to slow down. Alright, so I'm confused.
From what?
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I see. There's always more than one way to get to the right answer.
Look, if you
I'm
had...
talking to myself, I got it.
I know you're talking to yourself, which is kind of weird, but...
Let me read.
Okay. Are you good? We're good? We're good? We're all good? I can go on?
Yeah.
All right. Week 7. All right, so we have an equilateral triangle. Awesome. That means all of these are 36. If one side of the sign is 36, what is the approximate area? Base times perpendicular height.
Okay.
Because this is called your slant height. So you can't say height.
Someone's a little angry.
Because that's equilateral, your perpendicular height bisects your base. So what's half of 36?
If you erase it, it's even better.
We have to find this sign. Can we find the perpendicular height?
Yeah.
Yes, because that's a right triangle. So you can use the Pythagorean Theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I am now only looking at this triangle. So you have 18 squared plus b squared equals 36 squared. 18 squared is? Plus b squared equals 36 squared is?
1296.
This would obviously be a day 2 question. Those numbers are way too big. What did you say 1296 was? Is 36?
Yes, that's not what I'm
Okay, so now subtract 324 from 1296 and you get?
I put 36 as my B.
36 is your hypotenuse. It's opposite your right angle. 1296 minus 324 is?
972.
The square root of 972 is? It's a decimal. You're going to type in the number first, then hit the square root sign. So it's 31.2. So the base of my triangle is 36. The height of my triangle is 31.2. I'm going to multiply them together and then divide by 2 to find the area of the entire equilateral triangle.
Now, since they have to round there, well, do they have to round?
Yeah, it says approximate.
Yeah, but how can they do that without rounding until the end? Because that's really the best way. Leave that answer in there and then just hit times 36 over 2.
Yep.
And then round. But I mean, it's going to be.
These numbers are so far apart.
I understand that, but if they have to type it on the end of the exam.
You're right. But if they have to type it on the end of course exam, it's not going to say just approximate. It's going to say round 2 something.
But you can't round until the end.
Right. You're right.
Why did
You're right.
you
You're right.
show them that?
What was it?
Wrong direction.
972, and you take the square root of it. That's the whole number without being rounded. So the square root of 972, I said was approximately 31.2. I rounded. If you shouldn't round until you have to at the very last second. If you do the square root of 972 in the calculator, it gives you this. Don't touch another thing. That's already there. Now you're going to do this piece. The best part is this is already in your calculator unrounded. So you automatically just multiply that number by 36 and then divide by 2. There's your unrounded answer. Now you are done with the problem. Now you round.
And you round based on what they tell you. If they tell you 1 decimal, 2 decimals, 3 decimals, you follow the direction.
So if we don't have a calculator.
You will.
You, on a question like this would only be on the calculator portion. You can't do that by hand.
This is definitely a day 2 question, 100%. All right. Area of a trapezoid. You have to know the area of a trapezoid. It is not on your reference sheet. But, good news, this is what your reference sheet looks like. Look at all this blank white space area over here and down here at the bottom. All this down here. There's white space everywhere. Guess what you get to do when you get your reference sheet? You get to write all over it. The last thing you should be studying are the formulas. The things that you are going to need for this test that are not on this reference sheet. So any area formula you don't know. There are no area formulas anywhere on this test. You get trig, and you get these 3 volume formulas. That's it. You get slope intercept and point slope. And then your conversions on the back. But you're allowed to write all over this. So write all over this.
Why do we need conversion?
In case they give you feet, meters, inches, and you don't know. Alright, so the area of a trapezoid, base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2.
Is that slanted height?
No, that's perpendicular height.
The H is always perpendicular.
The L is slant height.
So you gotta do the whole right triangle?
No, they give it to you. You gotta look at the picture.
The only thing they didn't give you is this side. But you can find it because I can do that, which is equal to this, so that's 8.
And that's 15 plus whatever that is.
And this is, what?
That's a 3, 4, 5.
So 6?
What? What?
Yeah, that's a 3, 4, 5.
What?
3, 4, 5, guys.
That's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Look.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
I know it's a 3, 4, 5, but like, how did you get 6?
So what do I do? This is 8 divided by 2 is 4.
Oh, we did.
10 divided by 2 is 5. That means this is my 3 side, but it's not 3. It's 3 what? 3 times 2, which is 6.
Pay attention to this.
3, 4, 5 triangle.
Like, split up the shapes in Excel.
No, you're not.
I got a
The area of this, and then add the area of that.
If they
Yes.
don't remember that it's a 3, 4, 5, even though they should,
You are going to do 8 squared plus b squared equals 10 squared because 10's at your hypotenuse, which is 64 plus b squared equals 100. Subtract 64, b squared equals 36, so the square root of 36 is 6.
slide,
Wait, what?
slide up.
Where are we?
Oh, he's reviewing that.
Yeah, if you remember the 2, 4, 5, it'll save you a lot of time. If you don't, you can always use the Pythagorean Theorem.
And Asha had a great point. If you can't remember this, you can cut this into two shapes, the triangle and the rectangle, find the area of both, add them together, you get the same answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a triangle and a rectangle.
Welcome to System.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Can I actually do the problem? Shh.
Yes.
So, this is 15 because it's a rectangle, so how big is base 2? 15 plus 6?
21.
Okay.
So, base 1 is 15, base 2 is 21, the height is 8 divided by 2. What's 15 plus 21?
He's plugging the numbers into the formula.
What
is
36 times 8.
288.
What'd you say, 208?
No.
Is that a 26? That looks like a 36.
Just put another.
It is, it's a 36.
Wait, what is that?
5 plus 21 is 36? Oh, 15. Okay, sorry.
Is that a 2 or 8? 2.
So it's 288?
That's a 2.
288 divided by 2 is?
8. I did my idea and I got 168.
So 6 times 8 is 48, divided by 2 is 24.
Wait, I did. Oh. I'm like, 8 times 10. That'd be wrong.
10 is your hypotenuse. It has to be base perpendicular height. And then what's 15 times 8?
I don't know. 15 times 8. 120.
20.
What is 120 plus 24?
144.
So either way it works. Area of a triangle is 24, the area of the rectangle is 120, add them together 144, or the area of the trapezoid is 144.
What did you just do?
I broke it up.
The first one.
The second one I broke it up. I did the area of a triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. 6 times 8 is 48, divided by 2 is 24.
Okay.
The area of a rectangle is base times perpendicular height. 15 times 8 is 120. If I take both areas and add them together, it gives me this shape. So 120 plus 24 is 144, same answer.
What does that be equals?
The square root of 36, which equals 6. Yes. Are we good?
Yeah.
Does anybody still need this?
No.
A regular octagon inscribed inside of a circle. What is the degree measure of each arc joining the consecutive vertices? Holy hell.
Are we doing picking apart?
This does not require a problem.
No, you might have an apothem, one question maybe.
This question gonna be on test.
Honey.
This is arc length.
Yeah, it's arc length, but it's within a different,
So, draw the circle.
So
draw
I'm
the
not.
picture. Remember, step 1 is to read. What was step 2?
Draw the
Draw.
You have a regular octagon, which means all sides and angles are exactly the same.
What is step 2 process?
This octagon has how many sides?
8 sides.
I am trying to find this arc length. You have 8 sides, so you have 8 of these things total.
So chop it up.
Remember, how did we find that angle? 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 8. 360 divided by 8 is?
45.
So that angle measure is 45 degrees. Arc length, guys, arc length and area of the sector, they both have this. The only thing that changes over here is what are you trying to find? Area of a sector or the arc length?
He's trying to find the arc length.
The arc length is the length of the outside arc or the outside piece of the circumference. So right there goes your circumference. If you were trying to find the area of a sector, same thing, area of a circle. Actually, you're done.
That's it? Whoa.
Isn't that 45 in the center of the circle?
What?
Isn't your central angle equal to your arc?
Where'd you get the arc?
Wait, give me some time to process it.
Oh, I think it would help if you actually drew.
It was.
You didn't draw the octagon.
I can't draw an octagon.
Hey,
Yes, you
don't
can.
say anything. Oh, because all the points are actually.
Dude.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, I
The
got
stop
it.
sign.
This took me a while to understand.
Mr. Como didn't follow his own directions. Now do the circle in a different.
I did, because there's an octagon there. You can't see that?
Do the circle in a different color.
So you're trying to find this, adjoining vertices, which comes from the center and does that, which this is
45.
45, and the central angle is equal to the intercepted arc, which is 45.
So that particular one, think about it like a stop sign with a circle connecting, inscribed in this.
So if I did this, I should get 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you could. We got time for it. I'm sorry.
So the angle measure.
Absolutely.
Divided by 3.
Are we good with that?
Yes.
Does the picture help?
No. No.
It should. If it doesn't, you're not going to make it.
The harsh reality. All right. In a trapezoid,
Got it. Here we go.
the length of
I
one...
believe it said that if you're not paying attention, you're not talking dancing legs.
Jake! That's you, buddy. You wouldn't hear because you were talking. Shut up. The length of one base is 41 centimeters.
Let's call that base 1.
The length of the median
Let's call that 1.
is 29. Since they told me the median is 29, the median is always larger than the smallest base, so the 41 is going to go down here. What is the length of the other base? Your median is the line in the middle of your trapezoid. Therefore, since it's in the middle, it has to be bigger than the smallest base. To find the median is equal to base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. The median, the line in the middle, you add both bases and divide by 2. So to find base 1, multiply by 2. 29 times 2 is?
58.
Is your answer 17?
Yeah, 58.
Subtract 41 and you get?
17.
Alright, so I have a question.
I have an answer.
I did 41 minus 29, and I got 12. And I did 29 minus 12, and I got 17.
That's a statement.
Wait.
The fact that you got the right answer without doing the correct math, awesome. We call that a happy accident.
But I'm asking because it said that it's in the middle, so shouldn't the same distance from 41 to 29 be the same distance from 29 to base?
They're not asking you how far away it is. They're asking you how long it is.
So that's a happy accident.
Yeah, but it would be the same thing.
Say that again. What'd you
So
do?
I think that she's saying if it's the median, would it be the same distance away from the?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
It's just cutting down smaller. It's cutting down smaller. To get from 41 to 29, you subtract 12. So to get from 29 to 17, which is our base 1, you subtract
I
12.
think that's a happy. Are we doing the same thing there? I don't think that's doing
Oh,
the
careful,
same
there's a
thing.
chair there.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah, but that might not work all the time.
I don't.
I don't
Because
think.
the length, you said 41 is the largest length, so then it goes
You
median.
answered a particular question.
Like that.
I'm going to say
He's having an overload right now. He's like, oh my god.
I don't. I mean,
Felt like you were shoulders
we would have to like try and prove it. I would stick to the formula.
in theory, the two legs go at the same angle. They don't change angles. So from the first line to the second line should be the same proportion as the second line to the third line, or can you draw it differently? Because even if it's a right trapezoid, this one doesn't change, but this one is still going at the same angle the entire time.
But it's proportional linear like that necessarily? I don't know.
It has to be.
Well, it has to be because like slope, right?
I'm still going to call that a happy accident, but I'm going to relook at that and try to prove your way is the same thing as my way, just looks different.
But you can't go wrong with one.
What'd you say?
Nobody invented anything. It was discovered. It was already there. I mean...
You definitely didn't invent nothing.
No! Wait, I have to write down your...
Oh my god.
How did you get it?
That's simple.
You times the 2 by each times
Yes. Yes. Multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the fraction.
Is it normal to multiply What if 41?
Oh my goodness. Is that
You are. This is in parentheses. So this entire expression is being divided by 2. So when you multiply it by 2, you undo that, and you're left with that. Okay.
Meaning is another word for middle.
Okay.
How do you
Huh?
Meaning is another word for middle,
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
How do you what?
Solve number 5.
So number 5.
ask something like that
looks
on
like
the
something with
test?
circles.
But,
well,
that's you could try
Are you done? All right, number 5.
Able to even try to answer.
These are chords. They've been intersected proportionally, where this is a fraction, that is a fraction, so x over 15
So if
equals 9 over 10.
So if 2 chords intersect in a circle,
They cut each other proportionally.
proportionally, okay.
How do you know it's a... Oh.
You have to know
Okay.
that. You have to know that. Know what?
Alright, can you say that one more time?
If 2 chords intersect inside of a circle,
Wait.
they, what's the word we would use? Not
No,
bisect,
but-
but divide each other
You know, we don't
proportionally.
cross.
If
Wait,
2
do you cross?
chords, if 2 chords intersect inside of a
It's 1 to
circle, they
35.
divide each other.
Well, doesn't it go the other way?
13.5, which isn't up there.
No, proportionally is not equal.
Proportion is 2 fractions set equal to each other.
Inside a circle, what? What do you got? If 2 chords intersect inside of a circle, they divide each other proportionally.
6. I think the answer is...
I think that's the best way to put it.
No,
They divide each
wrong.
other proportionally?
I was wrong.
You're wrong?
So we erase it.
Yes. You're going to do one of these. I was backwards.
Is the definition wrong?
Yes. It's not proportionally, the product is equal. The product of the division is equal in each chord.
So why do you have to erase the whole thing?
The product, what
The
is
product of the length. So this times this is equal to this times this.
Was that in the
They're
standards?
still
So I was
proportional.
wrong.
Was that in the standards? I
Um,
don't know, whatever.
The product of the legs. They're equal. Are equal.
you multiply them and set them equal to each other.
I don't,
Each chord has been cut. You're going to multiply the pieces together and set it equal to the other chord's pieces being multiplied.
I don't think you need to know that.
It's not hard if they do. Because in this question,
But I don't think that that was in the standards.
this is 15x equals 10 times 9, which is 90. So x equals?
Why there's so much?
90 divided by 2. It is 6. Okay.
What'd you get from
15 times x, the product of these pieces is equal to the product of those pieces. So 15 times x equals 10 times 9. So 15x equals 90, or x equals 6.
How many questions we have to get right on the EOC test?
All of them.
Say what?
Less than half. Nobody knows that magic number.
No, because the way that they grade it, we just don't know. Guidance doesn't know. I don't even know if the district knows. The district probably knows more than we do.
The state changes the way they grade it every
grade-
year.
yeah. So
That's
you
why it
guys
takes
just
so
have
long to get it back. You're
you
taking a
guys
computer
have to
test.
Show up. You have to do the best you can.
And then hopefully not fail.
No, if you try your hardest on every single question, I guarantee you pass.
Don't we
Whoa.
And
have
yes,
enough time to finish
Are
it?
we gonna
Yes.
have?
Oh, you have plenty of time.
Thank you.
You know, are we gonna have something like what we did last year when we had to do the algebra to give us the first?
No, because this is not a pass-fail test. You have to have an Algebra 1 EOC score on your transcript to graduate from the state of Florida.
So if we don't have.
You do not have, there's no section for geometry EOC score. Your geometry EOC will affect your grade in this class
So it's like a semester.
as semester 1 and semester 2 final exam. That's it.
So if we got a, for example, we got a B and then a C and then it averages out to C in semester 1, right? And then semester 2 is like B, A, and then we don't do that.
We know that you'll get a passing grade for the course, but we can't tell you exactly what your letter grade would be because we don't know, how they're going to grade it. But most likely you guys will get an A, a B, or a C, and you'll be fine for as far as your geometry credit is concerned. We just want you to do the best that you can on the EOC. That's all you can do.
All right, this one's probably going to be our last one. Given RST is similar, they're similar. RT is 15, ST is 12, 45, TY, that's annoying, is 30. What is XT? Where is XT?
Right there.
So what is guys, a similarity, that's just a dilation.
Yeah.
RT, right here, RT goes with VT. So VT, how did I go from 45 to 15?
You divide by 3.
So what is 30 divided by 3? Done. That's how you get around these problems knowing your transformations. You're supposed to set up proportions. We don't have to do that because a similarity is a dilation. If you can find your scale factor, you're done. That's it.
Easy.
Which, if we set up our proportions, we still would have got 15 over 45 equals x over 30. You can simplify this to 1 over 3 equals x over 30, and you're still going to get 10. Because 45 divided by 15 is 3.
So that 12 is just too confusing.
It's just extra information. This is what you need right here, that symbol, telling you it's similarity, telling you it's a dilation, telling you need to set up a proportion. That one stupid little squiggly line tells you all that crap.
Alright, that's crazy. Keep going. We got 4 minutes left.
Alright, circle inscribed inside of a square is shown. If a point is randomly chosen inside the square, what is the approximate chance? So this is probability. This is geometric probability.
Can you just guess?
No, it's, you got to find the area of the circle and the area of the square and then divide them.
Easy.
Okay, so 11 times 11.
Quick.
So the area of the square is,
121.
the circle, the diameter is going to be 11, half of 11 is 5.5, so the area of the circle is 5.5 squared times pi. Don't do pi. What is 5.5 squared?
30.25.
So it is 30.25 pi. We want it inside or outside? Chance that the point lies outside the circle. So you're going to do 30.25 pi divided by 121 and then subtract that number from 100. 30.25 pi, nope, 30.25 times pi divided by 121 is, and you're going to subtract that from 100 or from 1. So it's 21% chance. when you divide the area of the circle divided by the area of the square, you're finding the probability that you land inside the circle. You don't want landing inside the circle, you want anything but. When you're dealing with probability, the max you can get is 100%. So if you're looking for the anything but, you're going to subtract your anything from the 100. So the area of the circle divided by the area of the square gives you 78% chance that you land inside the circle. So what's the chance you don't land inside the circle? 21%.
So what's the other one?
Wait, so what did you?
It's the decimal, bad rounding.
What did you get?
What?
What'd you get?
What did you do with the 78?
What did I do with the 78?
Yeah.
You subtract it from 100.
But can you get the calculator?
Huh?
We already did that. 0.85.
You subtract it from 1.
Yeah, with .78 is 78%, if you multiply it by 100. So if you do 1 minus .78, you get .21, which is 21%.
All of these are decimals. So the .78 was 78%. What's the other side of that? The other side of that's actually what, 22%? But there's no 22 here. It's 21 because of the rounding error.
Where'd you get the 121?
The what?
121.
The area of the square, 11 times 11.
And the area of the circle.
The area of the circle. Since this is the diameter, half of that's 5.5, so pi r squared, 5.5 squared is 30.25. So the area of the circle divided by the area of the square, this gives you the probability that you're going to land inside the circle, which was 78%. You want not inside the circle, so you're going to do the other side of that, which is 21. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what it is it's, you have to find
Do you want me to move this desk?
the area. I am terrified of this test.
I'm ready.
So then you have to figure out, okay,